Your 2-year-old is watching you right now. Not the way you watch a TV show, not passively, actively, with the focused intensity of a scientist running an experiment. They are watching what happens when they cry. They are watching what your face does when you are stressed. They are watching whether the rules that applied yesterday apply today. They are watching what you do when you think nobody is looking.
Because here is what developmental psychology has known for decades, and almost nobody tells new parents. The toddler brain is not a smaller, simpler version of yours. It is a fundamentally different kind of mind, one running cognitive processes so sophisticated that researchers spent years struggling to believe the results of their own experiments. Your 2-year-old is not throwing tantrums because they are irrational. They are not clingy because they are weak. They are not defiant because they are bad. They are doing exactly what the most extraordinary learning machine on Earth is supposed to do. And once you understand how that machine actually works, everything changes. Welcome to Raised by Science. Today, we are going inside the toddler mind through the lens of developmental psychology and neuroscience. We are going to cover 7 things your toddler is doing that look irrational, but are actually signs of a brilliantly developing brain. By the end of this video, you will look at your 2-year-old completely differently. Let's go. Developmental psychologist Alison Gopnik at UC Berkeley has spent her career studying toddler cognition, and her central finding is one of the most counterintuitive in all of psychology. Toddlers, she argues, are not bad at thinking. They are extraordinarily good at a specific type of thinking that adults have largely lost, what she calls lantern consciousness. Adults have spotlight consciousness. We focus our attention narrowly on what matters to the task at hand. We filter out everything else. This makes us efficient. It also makes us rigid. Toddlers have lantern consciousness. Their attention is wide, diffuse, and taking in everything simultaneously. Every sight, sound, texture, and reaction in their environment. This is why they cannot focus on one thing for more than a few minutes. It is not a deficit, it is a feature. A brain designed for maximum information gathering. When your toddler drops food off their high chair for the 15th time and watches it fall, they are not being naughty. They are running a physics experiment. Gravity. Does it always work? What if I drop it from this angle? What face does mommy make this time? What sound does it make on the floor versus the mat? Gopnik's research shows that toddlers form, test, and revise hypotheses about how the world works with a speed and flexibility that outperforms most AI learning models. The difference is that their laboratory is your kitchen, and their data collection method looks, to the untrained eye, exactly like chaos. Here is a finding that still surprises researchers who have been studying it for years. Toddlers as young as 19 months old demonstrate a clear understanding of fairness before they have the language to articulate what fairness means. In studies conducted at the University of Washington, toddlers watched a puppet show in which one character received more toys than another. At 19 months, when given the opportunity to interact with the puppets, toddlers consistently preferred the character who had shared equally. They reached for the fair puppet. They turned away from the unequal one. At 21 months, researchers found toddlers would actively protest unequal distributions, even when the inequality favored them. They didn't just want more, they wanted the same. This tells us something profound about the toddler mind. The social brain, the part responsible for understanding relationships, fairness, and moral reasoning, is not something that develops slowly through childhood. The foundations are being laid in the first 2 years of life. What this means for parenting. When your toddler screams because their sibling got a slightly bigger piece of cake, they are not being bratty. They are expressing a moral intuition that evolution spent millions of years building. They are right to protest. They detected an injustice. Their brains are working exactly as they should.
Between 12 and 18 months, something remarkable happens in the toddler brain. A cognitive leap researchers call social referencing. Social referencing is the ability to use another person's emotional reaction as information about how to interpret a situation. When a toddler encounters something new, an unfamiliar object, a new person, a strange sound, they immediately look at the nearest trusted adult's face, not for words, for an emotional signal.
If your face says safe, they proceed. If your face says danger, they freeze or retreat. Your emotional expression is a navigation system for their entire experience of the world. This is why toddlers are extraordinarily sensitive to parental stress, far more sensitive than most parents realize. Research by Marion Radke-Yarrow showed that toddlers whose parents experienced chronic anxiety showed measurable changes in their own stress response systems by age 2. Not because the parents said anything worrying, but because they read the anxiety in faces, voices, and bodies constantly. Your toddler is not listening to what you say. They are reading who you are. The reassuring implication of this research is that you do not have to be perfect. You do not have to pretend everything is fine. What you do need to do is let them see you recover. When you are stressed, let them watch you take a breath and come back to calm. That recovery, that repair, is itself information. It tells them big feelings happen and they pass. That is one of the most important lessons a developing brain can learn.
Every parent dreads the no phase. The moment somewhere around 18 months when a previously agreeable baby becomes a small, furious philosopher who rejects everything on principle. No to the jacket, no to breakfast, no to bed, no to the very toy they asked for 30 seconds ago. Developmental psychologists call this process individuation. The toddler's neurological discovery that they are a separate person from their caregiver, with their own desires, preferences, and will. This is not defiance. This is one of the most significant cognitive milestones in human development.
Before individuation, the toddler experiences themselves as an extension of the primary caregiver. Their identity and the caregiver's identity are merged. The discovery of separateness, that I am me and you are you, and my wants and your wants are different things, is genuinely shocking to a brain that has never experienced this before. The no is how they test the boundary of that separateness. Does my no mean anything? Will the world still hold together if I disagree? Am I allowed to be a different person from you? When you respond to the no phase with patience and firm limits, acknowledging the desire to choose while maintaining the boundary, you are giving your toddler exactly what they need: confirmation that their separateness is real and that it is safe.
One of the most consistent findings across 50 years of toddler research is that direct instruction, telling a toddler how to do something, is one of the least effective ways for them to learn it. Observational learning, watching someone do something in a natural, unrehearsed context, is dramatically more effective. Studies by Andrew Meltzoff at the University of Washington showed that toddlers as young as 14 months could observe an adult performing a novel action and reproduce it accurately up to a week later, with no practice, no repetition, no reward. One observation, 1 week. Accurate reproduction. This is called deferred imitation, and it reveals something crucial about the toddler mind. They are not just imitating what they see, they are storing it, processing it during sleep, and retrieving it in a new context. The practical implication is significant. The most powerful teaching you will ever do for your toddler happens not in the moments you set aside to teach them something, but in the ordinary moments when you are simply living your life in front of them. How you speak to the person on the phone, how you handle frustration at the traffic, how you treat strangers, how you apologize when you get something wrong. All of it is being observed, stored, and filed for future use. You are not just raising a child. You are being imitated.
When your toddler spends 40 minutes feeding imaginary food to a stuffed elephant, they are not wasting time. They are doing some of the most neurologically demanding work of their entire childhood. Pretend play, sometimes called symbolic play, requires the toddler brain to hold two representations of reality simultaneously. The banana is both a banana and a telephone. The box is both a box and a spaceship. The toddler knows the difference and deliberately suspends it. Cognitive psychologists call this dual representation, and it requires the simultaneous activation of the prefrontal cortex, the hippocampus, the language centers, and the social brain. Pretend play is a full brain workout.
Research by Sandra Russ at Case Western Reserve University tracked children's pretend play complexity from toddlerhood into adolescence and found that richer, more elaborate pretend play at age 4 predicted stronger creativity, emotional regulation, narrative thinking, and social problem solving at age 10. The best toy for your toddler is not a screen. It is an open-ended object with no fixed function. A cardboard box, a pile of fabric, a collection of containers. The less the toy does, the more the brain does. The brain is the toy.
The final finding from toddler psychology research is the one with the most immediate practical impact. Toddlers whose caregivers consistently name their emotional experiences, not just their physical needs, develop measurably stronger emotional regulation, language development, and social competence by age 5. This practice is called emotion coaching, and at the toddler level, it is simple. You do not need a psychology degree. You need a vocabulary of about 10 words. Happy, sad, angry, scared, frustrated, excited, surprised, disappointed, proud, confused. When your toddler is crying because the tower fell down, instead of rushing to rebuild it, you say, "That was frustrating. You worked so hard on that tower." When they're hiding behind your leg at a birthday party, you feel a little nervous right now. That's okay. I'm right here. When they're jumping on the sofa at 7 p.m., you're feeling excited, and it's hard to slow your body down. Every time you name what you see, you are giving your child's brain a tool, a handle for the emotional experience, something their prefrontal cortex can grab onto and use to regulate the limbic response. You are not just describing their feelings. You are building the neural architecture of emotional intelligence, one conversation at a time. Your toddler is not a problem to be managed. They are a mind in the process of becoming. Every tantrum is a nervous system learning its limits. Every no is a self learning its edges. Every dropped piece of food is a scientist testing a theory. Every pretend game is a brain building its most sophisticated architecture. The science of toddler psychology does not make parenting easier, but it makes it more meaningful. Because when you understand what is actually happening inside that small, furious, joyful, exhausting, astonishing person, you stop trying to control the chaos and start becoming curious about it instead. And curiosity, it turns out, is the best parenting tool there is. Subscribe to Raised by Science for new videos every week. And if this helped you see your toddler differently today, share it with a parent who needs it. Because every parent in the thick of the toddler years deserves to know your child is not giving you a hard time. They are having the most extraordinary time of their neurological life. See you in the next one.